What's up, guys? Welcome back to our channel. It's our basketball geek CJ Larin and Seth Jamse. So kindly first hit that like and subscribe button for more basketball contents coming your way. So in this video, we have our very special guest. Huwag na nating patagalin pa at excited na din ako. So let us all welcome. Ito, idol ka po naming dalawa since day one. So
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
let us all welcome Kuya Javi Palanya.
Good evening,
Welcome,
guys.
Kuya
Thank you
Abby.
for having me.
So, before us na start asking questions si Kuya Javi, about a month ago nung opening ng MPBL sa Calasiao, syempre it's nothing to hide na inspiration namin kayo ni Tito Mikey with this show.
Ayun.
About a month ago po, na-meet namin kayo sa MPBL and then we had this picture.
Ayun. Oo, tama.
So it was something na surreal moment para sa aming dalawa na bigla namin kayong nagka-chance na nagkaroon ng malapitan. Tapos ngayon, makakausap namin and be part of our podcast inspired by you and Tito Mikey.
Wow, that's great. Thank you, guys. Tung time na yun, nagsa-start na ba kayo ng podcast?
Hindi pa po.
Okay. So, kailan lang kayo nag-start?
Last week, last 2 weeks po. Last 2
Last
weeks.
2 weeks.
Talaga? So, very recent. Okay. Thank you.
Very
Appreciate it
recent.
for appreciate the invite and thank you for having me.
Okay.
So, Kuya, yung parang kwentuhan lang po talaga to. Parang wala pong set of
Sure.
questions. Ganun.
Go.
So, Kuya, kasi nag-start ako by watching Mikey Reyes, tapos may episode siya doon na nakasama kayo. So, curious po Kuya, paano po kayo nagkakilala ni Kuya Mikey po?
Actually, kilala ko si Mikey from my time pa in UP. Teammates kami, nag-abot kami. Although I never played sa UAP, pero since Team B ako, pag summer training lalo na, nagkakasabay yung teammates at yung Team B. Usually mixed trainings yan. But we were never friends in college. Nung pandemic lang, bigla lang kami nag-reconnect. There was a random time that he called me and he said that he was planning to have a co-host na dun sa show niya kasi parang napapagod na raw siya na mag-isa lang siya. So he needed a co-host and hindi niya gusto niya sana ng up and coming. Ayaw niya ng established na sa industry. So at that time, I think I just finished magsa-start pa lang yung first season ng PhilBasket sa Subic. And then he called me and asked me kung kamusta ba yung schedule ko, ganyan. Sabi ko, ganito, ganyan. Sabi ko, and then he asked me if willing ba ako to join. Sabi ko, game. Kasi from the time na nag-start siya mag-analyst, to be honest, I think I've already shared this a lot na rin. And alam naman rin ni Mikey to. Nung time namin sa college, wala akong believe kay Mikey as a person. Believe ako sa kanya as a basketball player. Obviously, star player namin siya noon. Pero as a person, parang sobrang baba ng tingin ko sa kanya. And then when I first heard him as an analyst sa NCAA, sabi ko, parang solid may alam rin naman pala to, hindi rin naman pala puro basketball. So from then on, I started to follow his career. Kaya nung medyo sumikat talaga siya sa pandemic, when he asked me to join him, sabi ko, no hesitation talaga. I really said yes. And sabi ko, I appreciate na you extended the invite to me kasi sino ba naman ako? I mean, I was just starting at that time, di pa nga nag-start yung PhilBasket. So sabi ko, I'd be honored to do that and thank you for inviting me. So that's when it started. We became really close kasi everyday kami naglalabas ng episodes doon. Talagang we'd record in the morning and then we'd release in the afternoon. And I think we did that consistently for about a year and a half or maybe 2 years. And from then on, we've always looked out for each other kahit na medyo sobrang mas busy na kami ngayon. Appreciate ko pa rin yung presence niya in my life kasi without me joining Shoot First, I don't think I would be where I am right now. Kasi iba yung broadcasting industry dati. Hindi ka naman basta-basta na makakapasok lalo na as an analyst, parang you had to be minimum a UAP or NCAA player Ako, team B lang naman ako high school lang naman ako nag-UAP. So, parang dahil lang na nagkaroon ako ng ganung klaseng exposure sa Shoot First, talagang I was put on the map and napansin ako ng mga big leagues. Thankfully, because of that exposure, andito na ako ngayon. Regular na ako sa MPBL and, it's sometimes still surreal to me na I'm getting these kinds of opportunities till now.
So, Kuya, tanong ko lang din po, how did you start to love basketball, Kuya?
Bata pa lang ako talaga mahilig na talaga ako sa basketball. My dad kasi also used to play, although he didn't play rin for big schools. He studied in UP but he was at varsity there. Pero naglaro siya in high school for Angelicum. He taught the game to me, in-expose nila ako ng maaga. Actually, nung tinitingnan ko yung mga baby photos ko, may bata pa lang ako, I think, siguro barely 1 year old, ay binigyan na ako nung little tykes na ring. Alam niyo ba yun? Tapos may basketball na rin ako na maliit. So from then on, talagang ni-nurture na nila yung love ko for the game. And then when I got older, ako na mismo ako na mismo nagsabi na I want to learn the sport. Sobrang natutuwa ako to watch it and play it at the same time. So, yun, doon nag-start. My dad really was the one who taught me how to play, and he lit the fire from underneath me to love the sport. Sorry, di kita bandig. Ayan, ayan.
So sorry.
Ayan, ayan.
Pero nung tinuturuan kayo ng daddy niyo maglaro, did you ever really wish na someday you will become a professional basketball player? Like joining PBA or other leagues?
Syempre, naisip ko rin naman yun. But my ultimate dream was really to play college. Kumbaga parang at that time pa lang, medyo realistic na ako na I didn't really see a future of me playing in the PBA. What I really wanted was at least to play in the college ranks. Then maybe from there, siguro if may opportunity to play in the PBA, why not? But yun nga, it never happened. But that was my ultimate dream, to play college basketball. Especially when my dad died. Yun yung hindi rin niya naabot eh. After playing in high school, he wanted to play for UP. He never had the opportunity. So when he died, I kind of made a promise to him na sabi ko, sige dad, talagang pupursige ako. I will try my best to crack into the lineup. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. But, I hope he's happy na I made the best next thing.
So, kuya, paano po dumating sa point para talaga sa inyo ang pagiging sports anchor and podcaster as of now po?
Sobrang funny talaga na ganito yung nangyari. Kasi I'm naturally introverted, believe it or not. But I now talk for a living, which is up to now very funny to me. Kasi talagang dati di naman talaga ako madaldal. Di ako, kahit pag mga parties or events nung high school, talagang bumubuntot lang ako sa mga friends ko. Sobrang mahihayin lang talaga ako. And then, siguro to make the long story short na lang, fast forward nung college ako, when I left the team, kasi there was a point where I decided na parang sasayang na lang ako ng oras sa team eh. Parang wala namang pupuntahan yung sipag at syaga ako. So parang nag-decide ako, alis na lang ako, nagsasayang na ng oras ko. I decided to try out new things. And for the longest time, my mom was asking me to audition as a courtside reporter sa UAP, for UP. But syempre me being a former player, at that time, I thought it was gonna be a step down. So parang na-hurt yung pride ko if talagang itutuloy ko yun. So I never fulfilled her wish of auditioning. I never even just tried para lang matuwa siya. So few months after, maybe a year after or a couple of years after, I'm not very sure about the timeline anymore, there was an opportunity to join a broadcasting workshop by Sir Noel Zarate. At that time, it was called the Newbies Broadcasting Workshop, Newbies Broadcasting Academy. And sabi ko, sige, para matuwa ka, mom, I'll join. But I had no intention or I had no plans of making a career out of it. I just thought of joining para lang matuwa yung mom ko. So parang, sige, bahala na. I'm gonna join, pero wala naman talaga akong balak na maging broadcaster, or I never even saw myself as a broadcaster in the future. But when the workshop started, towards the latter part, I think I kind of saw a big interest in it, and nakitaan rin ako apparently ng potential ni Sir Noel tsaka ng mga speakers and moderators, which opened up my interest to climb the ladder in the industry. Because what happens in the workshop is, kumbaga, yung mga tingin nila may potential, parang isa-separate nila dun sa mga participants. And then after that, they will give you opportunities sa mga small leagues. At the time, magsisimula na yung mga live stream ng mga liga eh. Ako, I started sa Kings of the Court. Yun yung pinakaunang live game na kinol ko. So they'll continue to give you those kinds of opportunities until at some point may golden opportunity for you to audition or maybe try out in the really big leagues. So yun, it's pretty much like that. But honestly, it was really because of my exposure in Shoot First that really made it happen. I think kung hindi talaga dahil doon, maybe I'd still be stuck calling not here in the mainstream media. Kasi ibang klase talaga yung nagawang exposure nun. Imagine, to be an analyst, and I didn't even play college, I didn't even play at the PBA. I'm not even a coach. Diba? Usually, ganun yung mga analyst na kinukuha sa mga big-time leagues like the MPBL and the PBA. But thankful, that's why, time and again, I will not stop and I will not get tired of thanking Mikey for the opportunity that he gave me, because it's not just the exposure, but the fact that I was there just really opened up a lot of doors para sa akin. And it continues to do so until now.
So, Kuya, kasi nawawala yung, okay na ba, San? So, may hinabot sa akin na question si Seth, Kuya, kasi nawawala yung connections niya.
Sure.
So, growing up, did you ever realize that you would see basketball as part of your life? Because right now, you have not been a player, but all of your connections, topics, and guestings are about basketball po.
I dreamt about it, but I never figured out that I was gonna be a broadcaster. I definitely wanted basketball to be a big part of my life, even when I grew up, even if di na ako naglalaro. But I never really figured out that it was gonna be like this. And I guess the next best thing to becoming a player or becoming a coach is to be calling the games on the sidelines from the broadcast booth.
Kuya, you are now in fact one of the well-known analysts in basketball. So, how did you develop this
Talaga ba?
how did you develop this kind of skill or talent po, Kuya?
Siguro in terms of the skill, I just really remember from when I was a young kid, my grandfather kasi he would go to mass every morning. So pag uwi niya, lagi yan may dalang dyaryo. Usually Inquirer, minsan Inquirer tsaka Philippine Star. So ako, I would always read the sports page. Every day yan. I don't know how many years consistently, but every day siguro until I became high school. Ganun yung routine ko every morning, especially on the weekends kasi walang pasok. So, I think that developed me getting to, kumbaga, picture or say the stories in a certain manner. I was exposed early to storytelling in basketball. I still can't say that I'm as talented as the other guys, like the Anton Rojases, the Boom Gonzaleses, the Nico Ramoses, or even the Mitch Gomezes, but I was pretty lucky to have that kind of exposure early on. And actually, because of that, before actually broadcasting, I did have a small venture into sports writing. In fact, when I was in high school, I was already playing for FU at this time. Kasi 'di ba sa sports may palarong pambansa? Apparently sa journalism, may parang ganun din pala sa high school. So, my school at the time, FEU, chose to field me into, I think that was district meet at that time ng parang journalism. So, pinasok ako doon sa sports writing. And gulat ako, nanalo ako. It was at that time, si Alder Almo pa yung judge noon. He was one of the former writers at Philippine Star and eventually became a writer sa NBA Philippines. So yun, nanalo ako, and then actually may national finals pa yata, something like that. I had to choose between that and the UAP game. Pero I had to choose to play in the UAP game. So never ko na defend yung title ko. And I never had the chance to represent Quezon City nationally in that department. But no regrets really. And that's siguro how my love for telling stories in basketball group. Kasi early on pa lang nagbabasa na talaga ako ng stories. Or the articles rather about what's happening in basketball.
So yun, I think meron na. Narinig nyo na ba ako, Kuya Javi?
Yeah.
Just come back. So, Kuya Javi, you are not just an analyst, but I've been following you on Instagram. I think you're also an entrepreneur. May
Yes.
business din kayo.
Yes.
Kuya Javi, di ba you've retired from playing pro leagues. You've dreamt about it, yet you retired from that dream. You are an analyst, an entrepreneur, a great host. Actually, been following also your hosting. What is your advice for like us? Also, I've been playing before, but I've not played so much now sa mga leagues. But I played before when I was, in junior high and then in elementary. What is your advice for those people na to see beyond their dream in being a pro basketball player or seeing dreams such as beyond basketball po?
Siguro for you guys in particular, generally I would tell, actually I've been asked this question also before by a good friend of mine who also is trying to get into the industry. It's a very tight industry to be in. Konti lang talaga yung slots. So I would say na if you're really 100% or 110% into trying to really make this a career, assess mo muna kung nasan ka in life. If you have, especially if you've already graduated in college and you're already 20 something or in your late 20s, tingnan mo muna if you have enough resources to be able to provide for yourself habang hinahabol mo yung dream na to. Kasi in reality, at the start, you won't really get paid a lot. That's the reality. So you're gonna, in fact, for everybody that doesn't know, I'm gonna say this right now na in sports broadcasting, or if you want this kind of job in this kind of industry, if you're here to become famous, you're in it for the wrong things. Kasi hindi naman ikaw dapat yung sumisikat dito eh. Pinapasikat mo yung player, pinapaganda mo yung game para sa mga player, para sa mga manonood. If you want this kind of job to become famous, you're in the wrong industry. Mag-artista ka na lang kung ganun yung gusto mo. So, and that's why I tell them na be sure na ito yung gusto mo talaga. If you really have that kind of passion for storytelling, if you really have that intense love for the game, then go for it. Why not? But yun nga, make sure na you also have enough to be able to provide yourself, especially at this kind of age. Kailangan, especially kung lalaki ka, I mean, no, not really to be sexist or anything, but syempre if you also eventually want to start a family, you gotta be able to be real with yourself. But ang ganda kasi ngayon, we have these kinds of things, these kinds of platforms, podcasts and everything. Dito rin naman ako nagsimula, pare. So if you just really are able to differentiate yourselves or kind of have a niche that will differentiate you from the other guys, then that's gonna be good. I suggest you find something that will, na kung saan kayo maiiba, kung anumang style or whatever man yan. I think that's the challenge right now. But you see, it's a blessing and a curse na meron tayong ganitong klaseng mga platforms to be able to, kumbaga, make it also in this kind of industry. Kasi hindi na lang kailangan traditional way eh. Meron na tayong mga ganitong mga podcast, pwede tayong maging content creator. And because of that, pag umusbong ka sa ganong trabaho or ganong opportunity, there will be people noticing you and there will be people giving you opportunities eventually in the mainstream media.
So, curious lang kasi ako, Kuya Javi. That's what made you, yun yung naging transition ninyo. Kumbaga, you had that mindset na, kumbaga, if I can be good at it, I'll be good at something.
Yeah. You have to be able to see na saan ka ba magaling. Assess mo kung saan ka magaling. And so para makita mo rin kung anong opportunities yung babagay sa'yo. But also, if you're just starting, I think that's the wrong advice. If you're just starting pala, lahat ng opportunities na papasok, this is what happened to me. Lahat ng opportunities na papasok, kahit na alam mong hindi ka magaling, kahit na alam mong di ka marunong, try mo lang. go ka lang ng go. Kuha ka lang ng kuha ng opportunities. Kahit alam mong baka may chance na mapahiya ka, go ka lang ng go. Because that's what happened to me. I never said no to any kind of opportunity. Kahit mabiglang magme-message yan sa umaga, wala ka pa masyadong tulog or galing kang gaming. Sige, go lang. Kasi nagsisimula ka eh. The moment that you do eventually are already, quote unquote, making it and starting to have a constant flow of gigs and opportunities, dun mo na siguro pwede tingnan na which is now worth my time. Kasi by now, may kinabibisihan ka na eh. But at the start, kunin mo lang lahat. Kahit di ka marunong. I started out as an analyst, but I knew that eventually, because I did not play in the PBA, I'm not a coach, I'm not a player, I knew that eventually I had to learn play-by-play or anchoring. So when I got into the MPBL, anchor yung kailangan nila dun eh, kasi marami na rin silang analyst dun. So even if di ako marunong at that time, sabi ko, sige, G lang. So, and buti na lang, I did a good job in my first game na pinagpapatuloy-patuloy na nila ako ngayon, hanggang ngayon.
But you're an anchor and an analyst. Before this ba, you were really studying how to play basketball, kumbaga yung mga technicalities,
Yeah.
yung mga terms, you were really studying it before?
Yeah, syempre, being a former player, there was, syempre, masasanay ka sa mga ganun. Malalaman mo yung mga ganyan eh. Syempre, I played rin naman in a high level of basketball in high school. I got to the junior NBA top 20 in Manila before I got into FEU. So, kahit paano, the knowledge was already there. And because na-experience ko na learning that kind of knowledge, even when I did not have any more opportunities to play, I still continue to learn. I still continue to have that thirst to learn because I love the game so much. Kumbaga parang addict ako sa basketball eh. I can talk basketball all day, no problem. I can talk for hours about basketball. Hindi ako mauumay. Even till this day, I can watch the NBA, the PBA, the MPBL, and the UAP all in one day. Basta magkasya lang sa oras ko, walang problema. Ganun lang talaga ako ka-interested sa basketball. Kasi when it's your passion, it doesn't really feel like work at all. That's why if you're gonna go into a certain kind of industry, whatever it may be, generally, ask yourself, am I in this para lang talaga sumikat or mahal ko ba talaga yung ginagawa ko? Kasi pag nandyan ka lang para sumikat, alam mo, mabilis lang yun mawawala sa'yo. Kasi if it at some point it's gonna feel like work, then at some point mapapagod ka rin, at some point you're gonna say, fuck this. Di ka naman talaga gusto yung ginagawa ko eh. Sikat naman na ako eh. Diba? Parang develop that kind of passion. Once you identify that kind of passion, then nurture it, and yun, pwede bang pagkakataan kasi it will never feel like work. Up to now, yes, I get tired of, obviously I'm human, but iniisip ko pa rin na this is a privilege for me to be doing what I love for a living. And like Ernie Johnson said, this is a job that we get to do. This is not a job that we have to do.
So since talking about basketball, kuya, curious ako, sino yung top 5 greatest Filipino basketball players ninyo?
Oh my! Top 5 Filipino greatest basketball players. Okay, sige. Siguro top of my head na lang. Hindi ako prepared para dito
It's a serious question.
Sige, siguro, syempre I'd have to put Junmar Fajardo in that mix. Is this regardless of position? Or kailangan ba?
Yes, this regardless of position po.
Okay, sige. Ayun, syempre Junmar Fajardo will definitely have to be part of that 5. And other players, I'd have to say Ramon Fernandez, El Presidente would have to be there. Jimmy Alapag,
3.
and then the other 2, I'd really like to apologize first because I know I'm gonna miss a lot of guys, but this is just top of my head. I'm gonna have to say also maybe the Big J, Robert Jaworski. I'm actually a really big fan of the old guys. Also maybe Alan Kaydick.
Okay, sir.
I know that's pretty much a very throwback 5, except for Junmar and Jimmy, but top of my head yet, I'd like to believe that they are my top 5 at least mga top 5, top 10 sila nasa listahan ko sila.
Ito na lang. Sa real, do you still have questions ba kay Kuya Javi?
Kuya, may ano kasi, may lumabas dun sa Shoot First community dati. Ano daw po? Gusto niya daw pong maging Pope dati.
Yeah. Tama yun. Di yan bullshit. Talagang, lumbata kasi ako, before wanting to become a basketball player, I really did have a big fascination about, going to church, the mass. So I wanted to be a priest. Yan nga. Sabi sa mom ko, I wanted to become a pope. I think, I wrote that, diba alam mo naman pag preschool ka, tinatanong ko anong gusto mo gawin paglaki mo. I wrote that I want to become a pope. Kasi my family is very Catholic eh. That's why I was exposed into that kind of atmosphere early on. And I really had a certain fascination. In fact, na-feature nga ako sa TV for, saying mass as a kid.
So, Kuya, to tell you the truth, Kuya, seminarista po kami. Seminarian po kami.
Talaga? Ngayon?
Hindi po.
Before. Ayos
So,
yeah, actually, yan isa sa mga things that I'm very thankful for. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm a saint, okay? But I'm very thankful na in-expose ako sa ganung klaseng environment when I was growing up. Because even until now, at least, may sinasandalan kang mga moral values na, I mean, I'm not gonna say that I'm a very devout practicing Catholic, but at least na hindi talaga ako sobrang nalilihis sa path ko. Kumbaga, I still believe in God. I still have a lot of faith in Him. I trust that He will provide for me as long as I put in the work. And I owe that to my upbringing sa family ko and my early years in the parish schools.
So, sorry, wala ka namang question. I'll have the last question na. So,
Wala.
since Kuya Javi, natanong na namin yung advice niya sa mga tao, ano naman yung advice niyo since hindi naman naitatago na kayo ni Tito Mikey yung inspiration namin ni Sai dito sa podcast na ito. What is your advice since podcast namin to? What is your advice for the both of us?
Gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, try to find your niche. And ako, I'll say this, even though I don't really do it, try and explore opportunities or trends on TikTok. If you really want to try to be big fast, I think TikTok is really a big avenue for you guys to explore. Personally, nahihirapan ako to go through the app. It's not really my personality. It's Mikey's personality. I don't know if I'm just making excuses for myself, but I've been trying my best to put out content there. But if you do really want to get noticed fast, TikTok is definitely a big avenue for you to explore. So, yun yung advice ko sa inyo. Find the niche and then explore content creation on TikTok.
So yun, thanks a lot Kuya Javi for giving us advice, giving your thoughts, sharing your stories here at our Be First podcast. Maraming salamat po Kuya Javi.
Thank you so much guys. I appreciate it. Thank you. I really had fun.
Okay, we had one na sa Shoot First, meron pang 3. We're really trying our best na invite sila.
Sige. I'll mention din mamaya. May live kami mamaya.
Oh, thank you po.
Thank
Thank you
you
po
po,
Kuya
Kuya.
Javi.
Sige,
Thank you
sure.
See you po.
Thank you.